Hey, what is up, my tricksters? It's your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero. Today we're going to be talking about zombies, and I'm going to make some critiques of how zombies work in Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, before we get into that, I want to remind you guys where you can go to support the channel if you want to do that, and I want to remind you guys that I also did a collab recently, so you should check that out. It was the Joker Challenge tournament that Yadalock did. I was part of it with, like, I want to say 15 other content creators, so make sure you go check that out. It should be the video before this one, and yeah, go make sure you check out the description or the pinned comment. It's one of those two. It's got the links to everybody that was involved in that, and you should go check them out. Make sure you're subscribed, because all those creators worked really hard, played really hard, and it was uber fun. And your boy got third place, I will say. Anyway, I was reminding you guys about where you can go to support the channel. So if you want to support the channel, there's two ways to do that. One is right now is my merch store. If you get that, you can get artwork with, like, some of my skit characters, like Frank the Robot Head, or some of my artwork. It's like parody artwork of, like, movie posters or stuff, or where we replace, like, the symbols with, like, Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, theme stuff instead. So it's just kind of like really fun little mashups like that. And then, of course, the Your Playmat link, where you can get custom sleeves with anything you want on the back. I have my little logo here on the back. But if you guys want to put something else on there, put your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monster, your favorite waifu, if you're into that kind of thing. You can do that. They'll pretty much put whatever you want on the back of your sleeves. And mats. They also do mats. And anything you buy, if you use my link, directly gives me a kickback. Or if you use code BEN10YP at checkout. So make sure that you do all that. Now let's get into today's topic. The meat and potatoes of this video is we're talking zombies, and how I think that zombies don't exactly work the way in Yu-Gi-Oh they should work. Now, before I can get into really explaining how that works, what my critique is, I need to explain to you what I have envisioned when I think of a zombie, right? Whether it's, by magic, like from a necromancer, or by science, like something in Resident Evil, zombies are kind of this, they're like this scary, like, monster that's really hard to kill. It's just eating everybody and everything, and it's just a horrible nightmare, right? Pure nightmare fuel. So, in my mind, when I think about zombies, I don't really think of monsters like we have pictured here, Eldritch the Golden Lord, I think, or not even monsters like Baldur Drak, or the Red Eyes Dragon Zombie, which is a zombie Red Eyes, you know what I mean? Or the Banshee here. None of these kind of zombies come to mind. More like this guy, like, the 13th Grave, Bone Mouse. That's an OCG card if you're not familiar with that one. The zombie monsters that make up Uni-Zombie here, like, these half-rotted kinds of beings are what pops in my mind. But there's tons of zombies for you to pick from. And then, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh has a bunch of popular zombie archetypes, like we got the Doom King, Zombie World decks, you've got your Mayakashis and your Shiranuis, your vampires, your, obviously your Eldritch. These decks are all popular zombie decks, but none of them really play the way I think zombies are supposed to. Now, Konami kinda, out of all the archetypes I think Konami got wrong, our zombies are the only ones that I think are the closest to that they got correct. What I mean by that is, like, when you think about, one of the major things you think about when you think of zombies is Zombie World. Zombie World is the most popular variant of any zombie deck, because it turns everything into a zombie, which is kind of, in essence, what you would think how a zombie deck should play, right? Here's where I differ. I don't think that that zombies should need Zombie World. And also, a lot of the cards are almost read more like they're anti-zombie than zombies. Like, let's look at some of the major ones, right? Zombie Master lets you bring back zombies from either player's graveyard as long as you ditch a monster first. Baldur Drak negates a zombie. Red Eyes Dragon Zombie, like, if it kills a zombie in battle, it gets to bring it back. Now, here's where I'm thinking that Konami really did kind of mess up with their invention of zombies, or the zombie decks they started. Two things that zombies are kind of known for are swarming, and of course anything that they kill comes back as a zombie. In their first wave of zombie stuff, they kind of got that first form of it pretty well represented. You know, you got your Red Eyes Dragon zombie here in Zombie World. You get the Zombie World out. Everything's a zombie now. And now you just get to start, you know, killing your opponent's monsters and bringing them back to your side of the field, right? Yeah, and then of course there are other zombie decks that do the other half of the equation really well, like the Mayakashis and the Shiranui monsters, which kind of get teched into, some of the Shiranui monsters get teched into like your standard zombie decks, you know, like Unizombie and all that stuff, and Banshee here. But like, here's the thing that I'm getting at is I think that what zombies are really missing is the ability to play without Zombie World, because they shouldn't need to. Honestly, zombies should just be out here. Straight up, basically what we need is to get rid of Zombie World, take the concept of the Red Eyes Zombie Dragon and like something like the Mayakashis that just summon a lot, make them archetype specific so you won't see them splashed into other things, and voila. Basically the idea that I'm saying is that we should go the step further and have the monsters do all the work. So for example, zombies, straight up like vampires, like I discussed in the fixing the vampire archetype video, they should also be able to, when they kill something, bring it back as a zombie. In this case, it just comes back as a zombie type monster, not as a, you know, name specific monster like I think should be with vampires. In the last discussion video like this, I mentioned that I felt like vampires were kind of missing this ability to bring the opponent's monsters back as monsters that count as vampires. So like, they were still what they were, but they're also a vampire monster now. Whereas I feel like zombies need to do like what zombies do, generic zombies do in every zombie story that we've ever read, is that they need to be just, you know, oh, I killed that monster, so now that monster is a zombie. You know, and these guys also should be, one of the other things is zombies should be harder to kill. Now, does that mean they shouldn't be able to be destroyed in battle? No. What I mean by that is, one of the things that like we kind of were teased at in the anime was the ability to keep bringing them back. Bringing our own zombies back, which, you know, obviously Call of the Haunted would have been too broken if it could just constantly bring back zombies and stuff like that. So we couldn't have that. But having a handful of zombies that just like, oh yeah, during the standby phase I come back, you know what I mean? And maybe that's all they do outside of the standard zombie plays. I think whenever Konami's ready to make like the ultimate zombie archetype, it's definitely got to have the ability to just bring stuff back as a zombie, just doesn't matter what it is. It also should have like an infection type of thing happening. So one of the things that's also a lot in zombie lore is if you get bit by a zombie, like, you know, after some time passes, you eventually kind of, you know, become a zombie because you know, you got bit, and then you like kind of slowly die in turn. One of the other things I would love to incorporate in, and I know this wouldn't be a very competitive thing, where it'd be a lot faster if you just destroy the monster and it comes back as a zombie. One of the other things that I do think that zombies as an archetype need is that symbolism of getting bit by a zombie. You know, the spell could even be called Zombies Bite. You know what I mean? You could have a picture of like, you know, a skull servant biting, you know, marauding captain's arm or something. You know what I mean? Like, as an example. And the idea is like, oh, in 3 turns, you know, or if your monster didn't die in battle, in the next turn it'll become a zombie or whatever. The idea is like during the next standby phase or something. Like, say, you know, so basically you either got to use that monster, and also, by the way, the reason why that also would work when you think about it for thematically speaking is because in a lot of zombie stories, when a hero, one of the heroes of the story gets bitten by a zombie, what do? They sacrifice themselves to save the rest of the group, which is kind of what would be happening in the game. We would, you know, to prevent our opponent from having that monster as part of the horde, we would, you know, sacrifice that monster for a bigger monster, make an Xyz, make a synchro, link it off, whatever. You get the idea, right? So that would be definitely, like, thematically it would make sense. And yeah, so that's all the things I'm thinking about. Is like, also, like, I want to see more zombie monsters that, like, zombies also shouldn't, I think most zombies shouldn't be that physically powerful, like, especially like the swarmy zombies, that kind of thing, which we kind of do have some of that in the game, but like in this imagined archetype of how I think zombies should be played, just kind of gloss over it. Swarming, lots of weak ass zombies, like, there should be easily able to, like, you know, link them off into like a big zombie or something, that kind of thing, but still have like a bunch of wimps on the field. Also being able to do infection, where it, like, slow rolls, steals monsters, and of course then there's the straight up, oh, I killed your monster, now it's mine, that kind of thing, because that's what zombies do, and that would make them kind of scary. And I think it'd be really fun to, like, create this archetype where it's like, oh, I gotta kill all the zombies before they kill me, type of thing, you know. So let me guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I really want to know what you guys would do to improve zombies. I'm wanting to just add more of a lore element to how they play. That's kind of my criticism, is zombies don't really play like what I imagine they should, lore-wise, if you look at the way fiction of zombies works. And the other thing is that I'm thinking about is, like, how, you know, there's probably other archetypes too that are like this that I'm just not thinking about. And then, so I'm hoping you guys can let me know that also in the comments below. Let me know, like, what you would do to fix them. I think that we just need to find a way to have the zombies function without the need for something like Zombie World. Maybe have their own negates that don't require Zombie World, because Balderdrock's the only zombie negate that I can think of. But in order for him to be effective, you have to have Zombie World, because if the monster's not a zombie, he doesn't go off. So honestly, they would have been just better off just giving them that. But that's a topic for another story. That's a topic for another day. I speak English, I swear. It's just I'm really tired and all that jazz. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully Friday will be my next video. And yeah, if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to that 10,000 mark. I know it's a lofty goal. I really want to make my subscriber count match my name. So if you guys want to help me out with that endeavor, please show my videos to your friends. Share them around in all the Yu-Gi-Oh communities that you're a part of, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.